So now it's this. Last minute. So I want to know, because see, like there's some mixed opinions on this. Says in this article, he ordered the USDA to distribute the emergency funds timely or as soon as possible and provide an update to the court by Monday. This is my thoughts on this. So what I'm reading in the comments is that judges don't have no power over this. So if anybody could educate me a little more on this, I don't follow politics or law. What it does say in the article is that it's going to cost roughly $9 billion to be able to feed the 42 million Americans, or whatever have you. So once the funds run out and we still in the shutdown, let's say in December, then they're not required to figure out what we're going to do in December. So hopefully the shutdown ends by then. Let me know what you think.
A federal judge had to tell Trump that he is not allowed to starve 42 million Americans for political gain. The judge ruled that the Trump administration does have to use contingency funds that were appropriated by Congress for paying out SNAP benefits during the shutdown, and that there's also additional funding sources that the administration can pull from to make sure this is covered, and that they are required to do so. There's two things that I want you to get out of the story. One is that this came from a lawsuit from Democratic attorneys general. Pay attention to your statewide races. You know that Republican AGs who are willing to bend over for Trump and allow him to screw their constituents, allow him to starve their constituents. The other thing that I want you to get out of this is that a judge had to rule this in the first place. A judge literally had to force the president to feed 1 in 4 American children, because that's how many kids depend on SNAP. And right as this ruling was breaking, Trump was also releasing photos of renovations he did to the Lincoln bathroom in the White House. And if you don't know, the Lincoln bathroom is part of the private residence. It's not open to the public. He covered it in marble. It looks like one of his hotel bathrooms. It was intentionally styled before to be modest, because the government has always believed that we should not be spending money to make the White House opulent, that it is the people's house, that it's not an appropriate use of funds, that it should remain a humble place. Trump said, marble and gold bathroom for me, and those people can go in a soup line.
I got two things to say. Just two. I told you this shutdown belongs to who? The Republicans. I told you guys last week, and those who wanted to listen, that the Republicans have the numbers and they can end the shutdown when they want to end it. Why? Because they can pass the nuclear option. They can pass the filibuster. They can get rid of the filibuster, and they have enough votes to go ahead and pass whatever, fund the government. And I told you guys that. But a lot of you guys was sitting here saying, especially on YouTube, you YouTube clickers, y'all was over here saying, oh, nah, it's the Democrat shutdown. See, the problem is that you guys are listening to talking points and not understanding civics. All right. Numbers don't lie. And look at Donald Trump. He sent out a tweet. He tells the Republicans, use the nuclear option. But they're not going to do it. I can promise you that, because they don't want to own this bad bill. That's why. They don't want to be the cause of their constituents having higher health care. They want the Democrats to also be on the hook. I told you. The second thing I want to talk to you about is I told you about the contingency plans, contingency funds for the SNAP. Now we got a federal judge who said, hey, Donald, you must release those funds immediately. Immediately. Those funds do not belong to you. Those funds belong to the taxpayers. I personally feel that Donald Trump and his administration has moved funds around so much in different agencies that his best friend, Scott Bissett, who's over the Treasury, we need a whole audit. Elon done took his money. All these people, it's a heist. I bet you they don't have that contingency funds money. I bet you they don't. And I know that the Democrats know they don't have it. That's why they pulling them. That's why they calling their bluff. Y'all stay locked. This is going to get good.
Big breaking news, guys. 2 federal judges just told the Trump administration to keep those SNAP benefits a-rolling, even during the government shutdown. So apparently, a little backstory, apparently the Trump administration tried to say, well, Shutdown is here. I guess those food cards gotta stop swiping. Like what? You can't just tell 42 million people, good luck, hope you like air sandwiches. But hold up. 25 states and a bunch of nonprofits were like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. They sued and said, you've got a $5 billion contingency fund just sitting there. Use it. And the judges, they agreed. 2 federal judges stepped in and told the administration, you're going to feed these folks, period. Because this isn't about politics. It's about groceries, families, veterans, kids, real people. While politicians are fighting over budgets, folks are just trying to figure out what's for dinner. So yeah, shout out to those judges, man, for having some common sense. And to everyone out there, vote, speak up, and support your local food banks, because at the end of the day, the laws might make the headlines, but it's you that make the difference on the ground. Stay loud, stay proud, and stay fed.
So there we go. SNAP is coming back. A judge in Rhode Island Supreme Court has ruled the Trump administration has to actually pay out of the contingency plan to cover for SNAP for this month. It's excellent. It's November. It's Thanksgiving month. The least they could have is a Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean? It's a bare minimum. But one thing I do want people to remember is how people were viewing that, man. How nasty people were viewing it. You know, a little bit of tax revenue to go towards people to eat, and people had a cow. But when it comes to all types of other stuff, they don't bat an eye. Chrissy Noem got 2 jets and nothing. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the fellow man, they just don't care. It's very sad. But much respect to people who are definitely riding for the side of
Trump has finally responded to the 2 rulings that are requiring him to fund SNAP. Trump is now claiming he can't legally fund SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans, even after federal judges ordered him to. In a statement posted today on social media, Trump said government lawyers don't think he has the authority to use certain emergency funds to pay SNAP, and blamed Democrats for keeping the government closed. 2 separate federal judges ruled that the administration must use the contingency funds Congress set aside to prevent hunger during a shutdown. It's very specific. The money is there, more than $3 billion in SNAP emergency reserves. And the court orders were very clear. Use it to keep food on the table. So what Trump is doing now is basically stalling, saying that he needs clarification while millions of families wait for their November payments that aren't coming right now. They're going to be late, period. The White House still has until midnight to comply or face a potential contempt motion. This isn't about politics. It's about whether the president will follow the law and, good Lord, feed his people. I mean, come on.
A Rhode Island judge just ordered that the USDA has to distribute the SNAP contingency money ASAP. It was Judge John McConnell, and he also said that they can't suspend the SNAP program. And then a judge in Massachusetts ruled that the attempt to suspend or delay SNAP was unlawful under the Administrative Procedure Act and ordered the USDA to explain by Monday whether it would use contingency funds or provide reduced/full benefits. The judge said, y'all can't just be withholding motherfucking food stamps when y'all got contingency funds to cover it. Give them motherfucking people they goddamn food stamps. Wrong with you. Y'all got till Monday to tell me what the fuck going on with these funds. Whether they gonna get partial funding or they gonna get their full benefits. But they leaving here with something. I'm not about to let the American people starve. So y'all got me fucked up. The judge said y'all got over $5 billion in contingency funds. Why the fuck y'all not distributing it? It don't make no fucking sense. So it look like they got till Monday to come up with the motherfucking money. Y'all better be calling Argentina. Get that 40 billion, 20 billion, whatever y'all sent. Get it back in blood. However y'all gotta get it. Get that shit back. Because I need to go to the American people. We know y'all spent that fucking money. We know y'all did something with that money. That's why y'all don't want to give it up.
All right, well, breaking fuck the news. A federal judge has ordered Donald Trump to use the contingency funds to fund SNAP. Here's the thing. So the contingency fund, it has money to provide SNAP benefits for Americans with the SNAP funds about to run out for the first time in U.S. history. Being that what it may, the contingency fund is not enough to fund the entirety of SNAP. So, also, with this being said, since Donald Trump has been ordered, now if he follows the judge's rule, that is yet to be seen. But if he follows the rule and they release the contingency fund, it's gonna take a while. So for people who are waiting on SNAP benefits and other things like that, this is definitely for you. It's not gonna be an immediate on the first you're gonna get funded. What's gonna end up happening is they're gonna have to do all this kind of math to release it through the Department of Agriculture and all kinds of shit to to allocate the money. So if you get, let's say, $1,000, this is me saying this. Let's say you get like $1,000 in SNAP benefits for whatever reason. It's probably going to be dumbed down anywhere from 500 or lower than that, and it's not going to be immediate. It'll probably be 1 to 2 weeks into November, but it's still up in the air. Trump now has been ordered by a federal judge to do it and release the money. So we will see if he does not pull a dictator and does what the court of law says he should do.
So a Texas judge has just ruled that the administration must release those emergency funds that they have for SNAP benefits. Yes, they do have billions of dollars in emergency funds to fund SNAP. And it was created for this very reason. In the event that we had some situation where the government was shut down and SNAP is not funded. But my question is, do you think they are going to follow these orders from the judge? That's all I want to know. Do you think that they will distribute those funds?
Donald Trump has the most pathetic response to a judge ordering him to pay out SNAP benefits. Now, if you missed it earlier today, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to use contingency funding to pay out SNAP benefits. Well, Donald Trump is taking that order and turning it around, and he's taking credit for it, saying this: I have instructed our lawyers to ask the court to clarify how we can legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. If we are given the appropriate legal direction by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding, just like I did with military and law enforcement pay. Yeah, Donald Trump is trying to take credit for what essentially amounts to community service. This is like your cousin who is in and out of the clink all the time, bragging about how he helps out his community and cleans up the side of the roads. No, my man, you are ordered by a court. But this is what Donald Trump does. He loves to take credit for things he had nothing to do with. Whether it's a ceasefire deal between India and Pakistan or Veterans' Choice, Donald Trump will always be there to take credit, and this is pathetic by a president.
Here we go. We are in the final stretch. Let's see what is actually going to happen. Now, some people are saying that this is going to kind of be like TikTok, where Trump stepped in at the last minute and saved it. I do think that this is going to be like another TikTok situation. But as we heard in the video, even if they do administer benefits from this emergency fund, it's going to take a while for them to get it out to everyone. And I think people may not get their full amount. But don't worry, I'm going to keep you guys updated. And we're going to see how this is all going to go down. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to be a TikTok situation where Trump steps in at the last minute to make himself look like the good guy? Or do you think it's really going to end? And also check out these videos down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and join the channel. Foodie gang gang gang. Foodie gang gang gang.